When you step into a true palace, everything speaks without a word. The air is heavier. The ceilings refuse to be ordinary. The floors are not carpets from a sale, stone and gold tell you who lives here. The fragrance is intentional. The silence is regal. Your little house and mine, we decorate them as we can, but a king's house is decorated by its nature. Write this down. Environment reveals nature. This is why the scriptures show us a throne, not a stage. The Lord has established his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom rules over all. Psalm 103-19. Okay? Listen to me carefully. Worship is not a concert. It is court protocol. Hook it in your spirit. Write it down. Worship isn't music, it's your visa. Say visa. A visa is legal access granted by a sovereign government to enter its territory. Not a feeling. Not your favorite key. Not the last chorus sung 5 times. Legal access. The Bible gives you the embassy instruction. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him and bless his name. Psalm 100-4. Read it again. Go. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. That's not a genre. That's protocol. Gates, courts. Then there is a throne. This is not entertainment. This is access. We have made a category error. We turn worship into performance and God into an audience. Wrong category. In a democracy, you impress voters. In a kingdom, you obey protocol. That's the difference. Stop auditioning for the king. He's not seeking your talent. He's seeking those who know the law of approach. Jesus said, the Father seeks worshipers who worship in spirit and in truth. John 4:23-24. Spirit is nature. Truth is protocol. Are you with me? Here is the promise. And I want you to anchor your confidence to it. There are 3 simple ordered steps that grant immediate throne room access every single time. No mood required. Thanksgiving opens the gate. Praise secures your standing in the court. Surrender, worship, bows you at the throne. Write it down. Gates, courts, throne, thanksgiving, praise, surrender. This is not complicated. It is royal. And once you understand protocol, access replaces effort. You won't strain to feel God. You will step into his presence by law. Who may ascend the hill of the Lord? Who may stand in his holy place? The psalmist asks. He who has clean hands and a pure heart. Psalm 24-3-4. Clean hands, actions align. Pure heart, intentions align. That's why protocol works. It aligns you with his nature. Glory is not smoke in a room. Glory is the full weight of who he is pressing into where you are. The throne exists for glory to be revealed. The visa exists for you to enter, not to watch in the parking lot. Some of you have been working hard to worship, trying to hit the note, waiting on the band, hoping the bridge will lift you. Stop that. Don't even think about it. Nothing is more insulting to a king than reducing his court to a stage. He invites you, by law, to come near. The law says gates respond to thanksgiving, courts answer to praise, and the throne recognizes surrender. Enter. That's a command, not a suggestion. And when a king commands access, it is treason to stay outside. So here is what we are doing from this moment forward. We are shifting from performance to protocol, from democratic religion to kingdom approach. We will not beg outside the fence. We will present our visa, thanksgiving, praise, surrender. Immediate access. By the time we finish, you will know exactly how to move from your kitchen table to the king's table in 3 breaths. This is why you came. This is why he seeks you. For his name's sake. Now, if you are going to use a visa, you must understand the country you are entering. Write this down. You are not entering a republic. You are entering a kingdom. Stop thinking democracy in a palace. In a democracy, power rises from the people upward. You lobby, you persuade, you protest, you vote. In a kingdom, power flows from the throne downward. The king is owner, source, and sustainer. He does not campaign for your approval. He governs for his reputation. This is why your prayer life has been frustrated, because you have been treating a king like a politician. Wrong approach. Listen to me carefully. Nothing matters more to a king than his reputation. Write it down. In Hebrew, for his name's sake means for the reputation of his name. Read this with me. Go. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Psalm 23:3. Read it again. Go. God does right by you to protect his name, not to boost your feelings. Another one. This is strong. It is not for your sake, O house of Israel, that I am about to act, but for the sake of my holy name. Ezekiel 36:22. That's a royal statement. The king says, I will act to guard my public reputation. That means your well-being is tied to his image management in the earth. You are his billboard. Now let me correct something, and I need you to receive it with maturity. Begging for basics is an insult to a king. Wrong prayer. In a democracy, you petition for services. In a kingdom, the commonwealth is the king's obligation. Jesus said, take no thought for your life, what you shall eat or drink or wear, for your Father knows you need these things. Seek first the kingdom, and all these things will be added to you. Matthew 6:25-33. Added. Not argued for, not negotiated, added by royal obligation. When you spend your prayer time asking for bread and shoes, you are announcing to the palace that you do not trust the kitchen of the king. That's an insult to a king. Write this down. Identity determines access. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Genesis 1:26. You carry the king's image on your face, on your posture, on your bank account, on your peace. All the kings measure your king by you. Ambassadors never pay their own rent. The government houses them for the government's reputation. We are ambassadors for Christ. 2 Corinthians 5:20. So when you step into your office, your classroom, your shop floor, the nations are reading your life as a statement about your sovereign. This is why he must take care of you for his name's sake. That is also why you must stop approaching him like a panicked voter at a town hall. The throne room is not a campaign rally. It is a court of decrees. So, how do citizens of a kingdom approach the throne? With protocol and confidence, not petitions and panic. Let us then come boldly to the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need. Hebrews 4:16. Boldly because you bear the seal of the king. With protocol because you respect the order of the court. The order is clear. Thanksgiving gains you entry. Praise gives you standing. Surrender seats you close. But the attitude is royal. Heads up, shoulders back, heart low. You're not trying to persuade God to be good. You are aligning with his decision to be king. Write this down. Gratitude proves you believe the king has already provided. Praise proves you know his reputation. Surrender proves you trust his will above yours. When you approach that way, you activate the king's obligations without manipulation. He feeds you because his name is Jehovah Jireh. He keeps you because his name is Jehovah Rohi. He heals you because his name is Jehovah Rapha. He must act like his name to protect his name. That is kingdom. So stop rehearsing scarcity in a palace. Stop bringing needs as negotiations. Bring allegiance. Bring agreement. Bring honor. Say it under your breath right now. For your name's sake. That confession converts your prayer from panic to protocol. It removes you from the protest line and places you in the procession to the throne. And when the king sees a citizen who honors his reputation, he will move heaven and earth to make sure that citizen looks like he is good, because he is, for his name's sake. Write this down. Glory equals the full weight of a thing's nature, its essence revealed. The Hebrew word is kabod, weighty, heavy, the substance of what something really is. Glory is not smoke in a room. Glory is the nature of the king pressing into the environment until it looks like him. The heavens preach it. Read with me. Go. The heavens declare the glory of God. Psalm 19:1. Read it again. Go. The sky is not trying to create a mood. It's exposing essence. When the orange is squeezed and the juice flows, what do we call that? The glory of the orange. When the bud opens and you see the full color and fragrance, that bloom is the flower's glory. Until it opens, glory is hidden. When it opens, glory is revealed. Let me correct our cravings. We often enter the sanctuary hunting chills and fog, thinking if the goosebumps come, God came. Wrong metric. Glory is not a feeling. It is the king's nature taking over. When Moses prayed, please show me your glory, God did not send a light show. He said, I will make all my goodness pass before you and will proclaim the name of the Lord. Exodus 33 to 18, 19. Name means reputation, nature expressed. Then he declared his character, merciful and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in steadfast love and faithfulness. Exodus 34 to 6. Write it down. When God reveals his glory, he reveals his nature, goodness, holiness, justice, mercy, until everything around you is organized by who he is. So what does the throne room reveal? The throne room displays his order, his excellence, his holiness, his abundance. That is why elders cast crowns, because value bows to the source of value. Revelation 4. That is why Isaiah saw seraphim crying, holy, 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 and the threshold shook. Not because of noise, but because holiness has weight. Isaiah 6. When you truly enter by protocol, thanksgiving at the gates, praise in the courts, surrender at the throne, you are not chasing a sound, you are submitting to an atmosphere where nothing crooked can remain. Excellence stands up straight. Disorder flees. Scarcity shuts up. Why? Because the king's nature has taken the room. And hear me, access is not granted so you can become a connoisseur of moments. The aim of access is manifestation. John wrote, we beheld his glory, full of grace and truth, John 1:14. Fullness means overflow. The glory of God encountered must become the glory of God expressed through you. Write this down. The highest proof you were near the throne is that your world starts looking like his world. Clean hands, clear conscience, wise decisions, abundant generosity, beauty without waste, holiness without hardness. But we all, with unveiled face, beholding as in a mirror the glory of the Lord, are being transformed from glory to glory. 2 Corinthians 3:18. Read it again. Go. The court does not send you home with a souvenir. It sends you home looking like the king. This is why protocol matters. Protocol positions you to host and reflect the king beyond the room. Thanksgiving trains your mouth to agree with his goodness in public. Praise engraves his reputation on your memory until you can recite his names under pressure. Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Rapha, Jehovah Shalom. Surrender aligns your will to his decrees so that favor can flow like a private law written over your life. Then your house starts to tell the truth about his house order instead of chaos. Excellence instead of excuses. Abundance instead of anxiety. For the earth will be filled with the knowledge of the glory of the Lord as the waters cover the sea. Habakkuk 2:14. How? Through citizens who carry the king's nature into streets, schools, and boardrooms. That is glory. His essence revealed through his people until the environment bows. Write it down and seal it in your spirit. The throne exists so glory can be revealed. Protocol brings you near so glory can be transferred. Write this down. Worship is the constant acknowledgement that God owns everything and you depend on him for everything. Not a Sunday moment. Constant. Read with me. Go. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and those who dwell therein. Psalm 24:1. Read it again. Go. Ownership. If he owns it all, you cannot worship without saying thank you to the owner. That's why the Hebrew word todah, thanksgiving, functions like a legal receipt. Gratitude is acknowledgement of ownership. When you say thank you, you are signing your name under his title deed. Listen carefully. Gratitude attracts prosperity, not prayer. Wrong prayer is asking a king to do what he already owes by covenant. Right posture is thanking a king for what he has already obligated himself to provide for his reputation. The scripture gives you the law. Let the peoples praise you, O God. Let all the peoples praise you. Then the earth shall yield her increase. God, our own God, shall bless us. Psalm 67 to 5:6. Did you see the order? Praise, then increase. Thanksgiving, then yield. The thanks is the key that turns the economy. Why? Because you just acknowledge who owns the farm, the rain, the seed, the harvest. Gratitude reassigns ownership publicly, and the king protects what bears his name. David understood this. He stood in royal wealth and confessed, yours, O Lord, is the greatness, for all that is in the heavens and in the earth is yours. For all things come from you, and of your own we have given you. 1 Chronicles 29 to 11:14. That is worship returning the credit to the owner. When you tithe, when you give, when you speak, the first sentence should be, thank you, owner, not as flattery, legal acknowledgement. That confession aligns your life with royal obligation. Now, dependency is not weakness in a kingdom. Dependency is citizenship. Say dependency. This is how you activate the king's names over your life. You open your mouth and confess ownership with specificity. Jehovah Jireh. You own my provision. I depend on you. Jehovah Rapha. You own my body. I depend on your healing. Jehovah Shalom. You own my peace. I submit my mind under your government. Read this aloud. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Psalm 23:1. That is dependency language. Another one. Go. I am the Lord who heals you. Exodus 15:26. When you speak his name, you are not flattering God. You are filing a claim with the owner according to his reputation. Let me correct the insult we have practiced. Begging for bread in a palace is beneath your status. Wrong prayer. Jesus said, do not be anxious, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or what shall we wear? Your heavenly Father knows. But seek first the kingdom, and all these things shall be added to you. Matthew 6:31-33. Added. If an ambassador walked into his embassy cafeteria and begged the cook for leftovers, the nation would be shamed. That's an insult to a king. In a kingdom, the commonwealth is the king's responsibility. When you act like a beggar, you misrepresent the government. When you thank like a citizen, you activate the treasury. So shift your language. Replace requests for basics with gratitude to the owner. Stop saying, Lord, please pay my rent. Say, owner, thank you for your house you have placed me in. You maintain what bears your name. Stop saying, heal me if you can. Say, Jehovah Rapha, thank you that my body is your property. You repair what you own for your name's sake. Stop saying, give me peace. Say, Prince of Peace, thank you that my heart is your territory. Govern it. That is worship, ownership, acknowledgement, and dependency, confession. This is practical. This is daily. Protocol begins where ownership is confessed. Before you touch your phone in the morning, lift your head and say, thank you, owner. Thank him for breath. He owns oxygen. Thank him for skill. He owns wisdom. Thank him for opportunity. He owns doors. Thank him for correction. He owns holiness. Every good and perfect gift is from above. James 1:17. Keep saying it until your soul believes it. All things are yours, and I am yours. When gratitude becomes your reflex, favor becomes your environment. Because the king will not allow a grateful citizen who honors his reputation to look unsupported in public for his name's sake. Now that your mouth has learned to say, thank you, owner, let me give you the map. Write it down. Gate, court, throne. Order matters in a kingdom. Protocol protects presence. If you violate order, you cheapen access. If you honor order, access becomes effortless. Read with me, this is the law of approach. Go. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him. Bless his name. Psalm 100:4. Read it again. Go. That is not a suggestion. That is royal signage posted at the palace approach. At the gate, the key is Toda, thanksgiving. Toda is not mood. It is legal acknowledgement. When you say thank you, you hand the guard your document. I recognize the owner. Gates don't respond to guitars. Gates respond to gratitude. You don't need a band to open a gate. You need a mouth trained to confess ownership. You step up saying, thank you for breath. Thank you for mercy. Thank you for provision. And the hinges agree with your confession. Write it down. Thanksgiving opens. Once the gate swings, you step into the court. Here the languages praise, halal, zamar, shabbat. Halal means to boast, to shine, to rave about. The king's reputation. Zamar is praise with instruments, plucking and playing skillfully to decorate his name with sound. Shabbat is a loud proclamation, a shout that publishes the king's greatness to every ear in the court. The court is public space. Praise is public speech. In the courts, you are not flattering God. You are announcing his resume so the realm hears it. Praise secures standing. It identifies you as ally to the throne. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth. Psalm 149:6. When you halal, when you zamah, when you shabak, you are saying to the bailiffs, the stewards, the nobles, I am with him. Beyond the court is the throne. Here the sound changes again. The verbs are barak and tahila. Barak means to kneel, to bow, to bless, by lowering your self-posture of surrender. Tehillah is the spirit-born song that rises when your will is quiet and your heart is yielded. It is not performance, it is proximity vocabulary. At the throne, you stop boasting and you start bowing. You don't shout orders, you surrender preferences. This is the place of not my will, but yours be done. Luke 22:42. Write it down. Worship bows. Barak lowers you. The king lifts you. Tehillah flows. When you stop controlling the room and let the king write the melody on your breath. Esther understood this better than most worship teams. She did not burst into the inner room waving a set list. She learned the protocol. She prepared. She fasted. She dressed in royal identity. On the third day, Esther put on her royal robes and stood in the inner court of the king's palace. And when the king saw Queen Esther standing in the court, she won favor in his sight. And he held out to Esther the golden scepter. Esther 5:8. Before that, she said, I will go to the king, and if I perish, I perish. Esther 4:16. Hear me. She honored order. She stood in the court, and favor extended a private law just for her. The scepter is the king's yes. Protocol invited the yes. If a Persian monarch guarded access like that, how much more the King of Kings approach matters. Order protects the weight of presence and positions you for decrees. Now let me correct a habit gently but firmly. Music is a tool. Protocol is the law. Wrong order is why many rooms feel loud yet locked. A drum cannot open a gate. A keyboard cannot substitute for kneeling. Keep the tools. Master the law. If the power goes out and the stage is silent, you still have access. Todah, open. Halal, Zamah, Shabak, stand. Barak, Tehillah, bow. Teach your children this sequence. Train your team in your kitchen, in your car, in your boardroom. You can traverse palace geography in 3 breaths. Say it softly under your breath right now. Gate thanksgiving, court praise, throne worship. Read the law again with me. Go into his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him. Bless his name. Psalm 100:4. Protocol is mercy. It removes confusion. It prevents presumption. It upgrades concerts into court sessions. Follow the order and the doors obey. Follow the order and the court recognizes you. Follow the order and the throne receives you. Access follows ordered protocol. Thanksgiving opens gates. Praise secures courts. Worship bows at the throne for his name's sake. Step 1. Write it down. Announce allegiance at the gate. Grateful allegiance is the legal key that opens the gate immediately, not later. Now, the law is posted. Read it again in your heart. Enter his gates with thanksgiving. Psalm 100:4. Not with panic. Not with petitions, with thanksgiving. Okay, listen to me carefully. Thanksgiving is not courtesy. It is covenant evidence. When you say thank you, you are acknowledging the owner. And gates only obey those who recognize ownership. Let me correct our habit. We have turned the gate into a complaint desk. Wrong prayer. Philippians says, do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known to God. Philippians 4:6, with thanksgiving. That means anxiety is illegal speech at the gate. Thanksgiving is authorized speech. Another one, let us come into his presence with thanksgiving. Psalm 95:2. Presence opens to gratitude. That's the law. Now, we are going to practice for 60 seconds. I want you to list provisions you refuse to worry about today and convert every worry into thanks. Open your mouth. Say it with me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for breath at dawn. Thank you for oxygen I did not manufacture. Thank you for a mind that wakes under your government. Thank you for food, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I refuse to worry about menus and markets. Thank you for clothing, coats, shoes, uniforms. I refuse to worry about labels and sizes. Thank you for shelter, rent, mortgage, roof, walls. I refuse to worry about payments. The commonwealth of the King maintains what bears his name. Thank you for transport, fuel, tires, traffic, flights. I refuse to worry about shortages. The owner runs the supply lines. Thank you for tuition and training books, fees, teachers. I refuse to worry about invoices. Wisdom belongs to the King, and he funds his students. Thank you for contracts, clients, and payroll. I refuse to worry about revenue. You are the source, not the market. Thank you for my body, organs, bones, blood. I refuse to worry about diagnoses. My body is your property. Thank you for my children and my household. I refuse to worry about their paths. You are their shepherd. Thank you for protection, streets, borders, storms. I refuse to worry about danger. The banner over me is yours. Now announce allegiance. Say it out loud. Our Father, King of the kingdom, you own me and my day. Hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come. Your will be done today. In me, through me, around me. Yours is the kingdom, the power, and the glory. That is not poetry. That is protocol. Allegiance is the citizen's password at the gate. Name the king by his reputation. Specificity is royal. Say his names aloud. Jehovah Jireh, provider, you own my supply. I will not insult the crown by begging for bread. Jehovah Rapha, healer, you own this body. Repair what is yours for your name's sake. Jehovah Nissi, my banner, you own my battles. I stand under your colors today. Go on. Jehovah Rohi, my shepherd, I shall not want. Jehovah Shalom, my peace govern my thoughts. When you speak his names, you are not flattering God. You are filing a claim against his reputation. He must act like his name to protect his name. For your name's sake, O Lord, preserve my life. Psalm 143-11. Hear me. Replace petitions with thanks for covenant supply. Stop walking to a palace window with a begging bowl. That's an insult to a king. We keep praying. Lord, please bless me. Wrong prayer. In a kingdom, blessing is the environment of citizens. Gratitude announces you believe it. The one who offers thanksgiving as his sacrifice glorifies me. Psalm 50-23. Read it again. Go. Thanksgiving glorifies that, means it reveals the king's nature at the gate. And when his nature shows up, the hinges move. So open the gate now. Say it with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, owner, for this morning's mercies and tonight's rest. Thank you for ideas, favor, meetings, decisions. Thank you for forgiveness as a standing covenant in the blood of Jesus. Thank you that his mercies are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Lamentations 3:23. Thank you that no good thing does he withhold from those who walk uprightly. Psalm 84-11. Thank you that the Lord will perfect that which concerns me. Psalm 138-8. Do you feel that? That is not a feeling. That is a door. Gratitude just handed your visa to the guard. The latch has lifted. Step through. From this day, begin every approach with 60 seconds of royal thanks, and watch how fast the gates obey your allegiance. The king has heard you. The gate is open. Proceed. Step 2, enter the courts. Write it down. Exalting the king's reputation gives you standing in his courts. The court is public space. This is where you stop telling God what you need and spend 60 to 90 seconds telling the king who he is. That's praise. Listen to me carefully. Namesake in Hebrew means reputation. Shem is name. Leman, Shemi, for my name's sake, means for my public reputation. Praise magnifies the king's public standing. It is not flattery. It is publication. When you exalt his reputation, the court recognizes your allegiance. Here are your protocol verbs. Halal, boast, shine, rave about the king. Use big words on purpose. Zamar, play and sing skillfully. Decorate his name with sound. If you don't have instruments, your body is an instrument. Hands clap, mouth sings, feet tap, you are still zamaring. Shabak, shout, announce, publish loudly. Courts are not libraries. They are announcement halls. Your loud praise is not noise. It is legal. Notice that you stand with the throne. Write this down. Halal identifies your boast. Zamar beautifies your boast. Shabbat broadcasts your boast. Now practice right now. For the next minute, tell him who he is, not what you need. You are holy, 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 morally perfect, eternally consistent, entirely other. You are just. Your judgments are true and righteous altogether. You are faithful. You cannot deny yourself. You are good, and your mercy endures forever. Sing it. Great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised. Make melody in your heart to the Lord. If you can hum, you can zamar. Lift your voice. Great is the Lord, mighty in battle, the King of glory, the Lord strong and mighty. Do you feel the court's atmosphere shift? That is not hype. That is jurisdiction recognizing reputation. Read together. Go. You shall not bow down to their gods, nor serve them, nor do as they do, but you shall utterly overthrow them and break their pillars in pieces. You shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water, and I will take sickness away from among you. None shall miscarry or be barren in your land. I will fulfill the number of your days. Exodus 23, 24, 26. Read it again. Go. You shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water, and I will take sickness away. None shall miscarry. I will fulfill the number of your days. Did you hear the royal cadence? He will. I will. I will. That's the king binding his reputation to your public worship. Let me correct a habit with love and authority. Stop negotiating in the courts. Wrong approach. The court is not for bargaining. It is for boasting in the name. When you praise, you are not trying to change God's mind. You are aligning with God's resume. Let the high praises of God be in their mouth. Psalm 149:6. High praise is legal speech that secures standing. You are saying to angels, elders, witnesses, and watchers, I am with him. His record is perfect, his throne is righteous, and the court grants you place because you magnified the monarch. Write this down. Praise is citizenship on display. Anyone can complain. Only citizens boast in the king while needs remain. That's why let the peoples praise you. Then the earth shall yield her increase. Psalm 67:5-6. Order. Publish first, produce after. Exalt the name. And outcomes begin to obey the reputation you just announced. Why? Because the king protects his name in public. For your name's sake, lead me and guide me. Psalm 31:3. When you halal, zamar, shabbat, you put pressure on the palace, not by threats, but by truth. The court opens to truth. The court seats those who honor the name. Now, install the drill. After the gate of thanksgiving, give the king 1 full minute of unbroken praise, no petitions, halal boast out loud. Zamar, sing without apology. Shabak, shout his fame till your environment hears. Speak his titles and works. Creator of heaven and earth, Lord of hosts, Ancient of days, Jesus' name above every name. Tell him who he is until you forget what you were afraid of. That's the sign you have standing. The court knows your voice now. Proceed toward the throne. Now hush your soul. Step 3. Write it down. Bow at the throne. Hear the vocabulary changes. Barak, kneel, bend the knee, lower your rank. Shahar, prostrate, get low. Until your will touches the floor. The throne is where talking stops and yielding starts. Read with me. Go. Oh, come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord our Maker. Psalm 95:6. Read it again. Go. Worship bows. This is where you spend 60 to 90 seconds with your body low and your mouth quiet. Be still and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. Stillness is not emptiness. It is agreement. Your silence is saying, your will, your way, through me, here I am. Listen to me carefully. The throne is not the place for demands. It is the place for assignment. Not my will, but yours be done, was prayed in a garden within earshot of the throne, Luke 22:42. This is your language now. Here I am. Speak, Lord, for your servant hears. 1 Samuel 3-9. Here am I. Send me. Isaiah 6-8. You have published his reputation in the court. Now you permit his intention to write yours. Favor lives here. Write this down. Favor is a private law the king makes just for you at close range. You don't need the realm to agree with it. If the king whispers it to you at the throne, it becomes legislation over your life. Look at the exemplars. Esther stood in proximity. The scepter extended. A private law was written for her people against all odds. What is your request? It shall be granted, Esther 5-3. Not because she shouted louder, because she honored access and bowed her will. Nehemiah, cupbearer near the monarch, asked for letters and timber. Read it. Go. And the king granted me what I asked, for the good hand of my God was upon me. Nehemiah 2-8. Letters, decrees, doors opening where gates once stood. Daniel bowed to God's will in a hostile empire. Lions lost their appetite, and a pagan king wrote, I make a decree that everyone must honor Daniel's God. Daniel 6:26. Proximity writes decrees. Favor is not luck. Favor is law spoken near the scepter. Now, practical protocol. Kneel. If you can, touch the floor with your forehead, Shachar. If you are in a chair, bow your torso, lower your head, breathe slowly. For the first 30 seconds, say only this: your will, your way, through me, here I am. Then be silent. Let the king speak. He may push one word into your spirit: call, reconcile, give, build, wait, move, apologize, study, sow, apply, write. When a word comes, do not debate. Write it down. Write the vision. Make it plain. Habakkuk 2:2. Protocol completes in obedience. If you do not obey, you only visited the furniture. You did not meet the king. Be doers of the word and not hearers only. James 1:22. Obey quickly. The faster you obey, the clearer the next decree comes. Let me correct a habit. Stop strategizing at the throne. Wrong room. The boardroom is for plans. The throne is for surrender. At the throne, you do not pitch God your project. You receive his. Your sentence is simple. Command me, king. Then you carry out what he says for his name's sake. Psalm 23:3. Remember, nothing is more important to a king than his reputation. When you bow and accept assignment, the resources of the commonwealth attach to you, because the king will not allow his order to fail in public. That's why Mary told the servants, do whatever he tells you. John 2:5. Water turned to wine because submission turned to action. This is the moment where bespoke favor lands. A phone call appears no one else gets. A door opens in a wall, others keep knocking. A statute bends like a reed for your case. Why? Not because you are special, because a king wrote a private law for his purpose through you. Esther received the reversal. Nehemiah received safe passage and supply. Daniel received preservation and promotion. And each outcome publicly magnified the name. That is favor tailored to assignment. Seal it now. Whisper it. Your will, your way, through me, here I am. Be still. Listen. Write it. Then rise and move. Barak lowers you. The king lifts you. Shakar quiets you. The king commissions you. From this day, never leave the throne without an instruction, and never delay to perform it. The scepter extends to the surrendered. The decree follows the bowed. And the realm will recognize the law written over your life for his name's sake. Now hear the consequence of protocol. When a citizen lives at the gate with thanksgiving, stands in the court with praise, and bows at the throne in surrender, the king enforces outcomes not as favors to your ego, but as safeguards to his reputation on you. Write it down. Worship is not a bribe to move God. Worship is alignment that obligates the king to act for his name's sake. Read the statute with me. Go, you shall serve the Lord your God, and he will bless your bread and your water, and I will take sickness away from among you. None shall miscarry or be barren in your land. I will fulfill the number of your days. Exodus 23:25-26. Read it again. Go. He will bless, I will take, none shall, I will fulfill. That is royal language. He will, I will. 7 royal outcomes. Write them in order and stamp them on your spirit. One provision stabilized. He will bless your bread and your water. That means supply lines secured, not barely enough blessed. In a kingdom, bread and water are not prayer points. They are reputation points. When your table is set, the king looks good. The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. Psalm 23:1. Wrong prayer is begging for bread. Right worship is thanking the owner and watching the storehouses obey his name. To help protection, I will take sickness away from among you. The king is jealous for the appearance of his citizens. Sickly representatives slander a strong throne. Hear me. He is the Lord your healer, Jehovah Rapha. When you worship, you file a claim against disease in his reputation. He removes it to protect his name on your body. 3 fruitfulness guaranteed. None shall miscarry or be barren in your land. That is wombs and work. Babies, ideas, companies, ministries. No more false starts. Worship ties your outcomes to the king's legacy. He will not allow what bears his seal to appear infertile in public. Your seeds will carry to term because his name is on the birth certificate. For longevity assured, I will fulfill the number of your days. Not cut short, not stolen by premature ends. Assignments require time. Reputations demand completion. The king keeps you until his investment has matured. That's why David could say, I shall not die, but live and declare the works of the Lord, Psalm 118-17. Live long enough to finish the decree written over you. 5, angelic escort and protection. Read earlier in that same chapter, behold, I send an angel before you to guard you on the way and to bring you to the place that I have prepared, Exodus 23:20. Guards for citizens, routes cleared, ambushes exposed. You worship, he dispatches. The realm watches you move safely and concludes, their king secures them. 6, victory over adversaries. I will be an enemy to your enemies, Exodus 23:22. That is not negotiation, that is policy. When you align under his name, he litigates on your behalf. He contends so you can continue. Your calm becomes a billboard. The king fights for his own. 7, increase and territory expansion. I will set your border from the Red Sea to the Sea of the Philistines. Exodus 23:31. Capacity grows, boundaries shift, influence widens. This is not greed. It is stewardship expansion, so the name travels further. Remember, let the peoples praise you, then the earth shall yield her increase. Psalm 67:5-6. Praise precedes produce. Worship precedes with. Why does he do it? Read it softly. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Psalm 23:3. Namesake means reputation. The king is protecting his public reputation in you. This is why worry is treasonous talk in a palace. Worry slanders the crown. He may not come through. Gratitude honors it. He always keeps his word. Choose your testimony. Let your mouth decide your government. Now confess the law. Say it with me. He will do it for his name's sake. Again, he will do it for his name's sake. One more time with conviction. He will do it for his name's sake. Provision blessed. Sickness removed. Fruitfulness assured. Years fulfilled. Angels assigned. Enemies answered. Borders enlarged. Not because you are persuasive, but because he is protective of his name on you. Worship aligns you. Reputation enforces you. Benefits follow you for his name's sake. Now we practice. Write it down. 3 minutes, 3 postures, 3 proclamations. Gate, 1 minute of thanksgiving while standing. Court, 1 minute of praise aloud. Throne, 1 minute of surrender on your knees. Simplicity is royal genius. Kings love order. Protocol is not complicated, it is consistent. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him. Bless his name. Psalm 100-4. Read it again. Go. That is your time of text. Minute 1, gate. Stand to honor. Kings, read posture. When you stand, you announce, I am before someone greater. Set a 60-second timer on your phone labeled gate. When it begins, open your mouth and say, thank you, owner, and list specifics until the timer sings. Thank you for breath, for sleep, for waking, for strength, for clean water, for stable ground under my feet, for wisdom, for decisions today, for forgiveness already purchased in the blood of Jesus. In everything give thanks. For this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. 1 Thessalonians 5:18. That's not suggestion. That's statute. Gratitude is legal speech at the gate. No petitions here. Only ownership acknowledgments. When the timer ends, the gate has opened. Minute 2, court. Speak up to praise. Courts are public. Volume is virtue. Set another 60 seconds labeled court. Now publish his reputation. Halal, boast. Zamar, sing. Shabak, shout. Say it loud. Great is the Lord and greatly to be praised. You are holy, just, faithful, merciful. Jesus. Name above every name. Highly exalted. Son of the living God. Jehovah. Jireh, provider. Jehovah, Rapha, healer. Jehovah Nisi, my banner. I will bless the Lord at all times. His praise shall continually be in my mouth. Psalm 34:1. Read together. Go. Yet you are holy, enthroned on the praises of Israel. Psalm 22:3. When you praise, you build a seat. The king sits on what you say. Publish his resume until fear forgets your name. When the timer ends, you have standing in the court. Minute 3, throne. Kneel to surrender. Barak, bend. Shahah, get low. Set the last 60 seconds labeled throne. Go to the floor if you can. Lower your head if you cannot. Whisper this sentence slowly. Your will, your way, through me. Here I am. Then be still. Speak, Lord, for your servant hears. 1 Samuel 3-9-10. Offer your body as worship. This is Romans 12. 1-inch motion. If a word, a name, an instruction surfaces, write it down and agree now. Do not argue at the throne. Obey at the throne. Favor is a private law. The king writes for the bowed. Make it embodied everywhere. Mornings before you check a screen, check in with the king. Stand, speak, kneel 3 minutes. Meetings arrive early. Slip to a quiet corner or sit in your car. Run the drill. Meals before the first bite. Lead your table. 30 seconds gate thanks. 30 seconds court praise. 30 seconds throne surrender. Kings sit at tables too. Commutes turn your vehicle into a mobile palace. Red lights become courts. Parking lots become thrones. Airports, elevators, waiting rooms, protocol travels. If there is space to stand, there is space to kneel. If there is breath, there is time to praise. Accountability secures continuity. Keep a small journal or use your notes app titled Protocol. 2 lines each day. Line 1, gate what I thank the owner for. Line 2, throne what I surrendered and the instruction I received. That's it. The court takes care of itself because praise is public record. Review your 2 lines at night. You will see patterns of provision and orders fulfilled. Write the vision. Make it plain. Habakkuk 2:2. Citizens document decrees. Set alarms at fixed hours, morning, midday, evening. Name gate, court, throne. Teach your household. Parents, train children with 3 breaths. Thank you. Great are you. Your will be done. Leaders, begin staff huddles with the drill. Watch anxiety leave rooms. Students, run it before exams. Entrepreneurs, before pitches. Nurses, before rounds. Officers, before patrol. Artists, before rehearsals. Protocol, before performance. Hear my charge. May you never have to be asked to worship again. Let gratitude be your reflex. Praise your habit. Surrender your signature. 3 minutes relocates you from earth to throne room access. The king reads your posture, hears your protocol, and moves for his name's sake. Install the timer. Stand, speak, kneel, daily. Repeat until instinct replaces instruction and the realm learns your king by your reflex. Walk out of here as citizens, not consumers, as ambassadors, not attendees. Write this down. You are the king's public representative, the embassy of his reputation in shoes. We are ambassadors for Christ, God making his appeal through us, 2 Corinthians 5:20. That means the opulence of royal care should follow you like a cape. David said it this way, read it with me. Go, surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, Psalm 23:6. Read it again. Go, it shall follow me. Royal care chases citizens because the king guards his name on you in public. When you step into hospitals, boardrooms, classrooms, kitchens, stations, studios, protocol precedes you and provision follows you. Not because you have a good personality, but because you carry a good king. Now here is your public confession strategy. Write it down. Tell 3 people today before the sun sleeps, my king will take care of me. Say it to your colleague. Say it to the cashier. Say it to the family member who wants to worry with you. When you confess the king before men, you put pressure on his name. Jesus said, whoever acknowledges me before men, I also will acknowledge before my Father. Matthew 10:32. That means your public confession triggers heavenly recognition. Don't whisper it, publish it. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. Psalm 107:2. Name the king. Jehovah Jireh will take care of me. Jehovah Rapha will take care of me. Jesus, the King of Kings, will take care of me. Specificity is legal. Give heaven something to vindicate in public. Exchange effort for access. Listen to me carefully. Stop hustling to make happen what decrees can deliver. Wrong method. Cease striving and know that I am God. Psalm 46:10. NASB. Trade anxiety for nearness. Stay near the throne and receive sentences that move mountains. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. Matthew 6:33. Added is different from chaste. Added is decree language. Mary chose the one thing, proximity, and Jesus said, it shall not be taken away from her. Luke 10:42. Write this down. When you exchange striving for sitting, you inherit what others spend their lives chasing. Private laws are written for the bowed. Sharpen your sword. Master the praise words. Todah, thanksgiving, as covenant proof. Yada, extend the hands in acknowledgement. Halal, boast until the room knows your allegiance. Zamar, skillfully decorate his name with sound. Shabbat, publish loudly like a herald. Barak, kneel and bless by lowering your rank. Tehillah, sing the new God-breathed song. Study them. Teach your household. Parents, quiz your children. 1 word a day. Leaders, open every meeting by naming one term and practicing it for 60 seconds. Glory is not smoke. Glory is nature revealed. Keep reading until nature becomes visible in your decisions. Get wisdom resources. Study the kingdom. Review your notes. Precision is power in a palace. Keep the protocol sharp. Now lift your head and receive your commissioning. You will carry the throne because the king is enthroned on the praises of his people. Psalm 22:3. When you praise, you build a seat. When you leave, you transport that seat through your life. Your car becomes a chariot. Your cubicle, a court. Your kitchen, a cathedral. Read this softly. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Psalm 23:3. Namesake means reputation. So walk righteously, walk confidently, and walk publicly. Announce the king by conduct and confession. If you deny him in worry, you dim the lamp. If you declare him in worship, you raise the standard. I speak a royal blessing over you now. May private laws be drafted over your week at dawn and sealed by nightfall. May the scepter extend when you bow. May ideas appear on schedule. Solutions arrive before deadlines. And guardians go before you to prepare the place. Exodus 23:20. May bread and water be blessed. Health enforced. Fruit carried to term. Days fulfilled. Enemies answered. And borders enlarged for his name's sake. May sentences whispered at the throne become policies in your path. Favor locate you. Not because you chased it, but because you stayed near the chair that writes it. Now, citizens stand tall, speak loud, kneel low, gate, thank him, anywhere, anytime. Court, publish his name until rooms remember. Throne, surrender, fast, and obey faster. Tell 3 today, my king will take care of me. Then watch the king take care of his reputation on you. Go, walk out carrying the throne, and may the realm learn your king by your reflex.